right. I'm live. Am I live? I don't know. Let me check. Uh, it's loading, so I have no idea. I'm at your top. Oh, let's say I'm live. That's bananas. What's wrong with the video? Okay, cool. So YouTube is good. Give me a second, people. As I told you on my side, it says it's still loading. So okay. Let's say so. Swami live too. So we're gonna make it crack. Okay. Aiming for your top. I was just listening to Dolph, so excuse me. At Death Row. Come on now. Come on, Stream Labs. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Oh shoot. I need to turn the camera around. I'm seeing too much. One day. All right, let me get my life together. Glad y'all could join me. Hope this ain't your first time. If it is, lo siento. You get used to it. We have to go through that a couple of times because my stream labs be funny style sometimes. Okay, I'm almost ready. Getting 100. All right, people. We almost there. Okay. Let me get them going. I don't know if you're there. You can comment. I might be able to see it. Streamlabs going Streamlabs today, so y'all know how it go. Especially if it's not your first time. Terrence, bro. Man, I appreciate you again, bro. For real, for real. Jay stopped through on Tuesday too, man. So I'm gonna be in Atlanta next week. I should still be able to make the call so I can goddamn, you know what I mean? Thank y'all basically in person. But yeah, I appreciate you, family, as always. I see you, T. I appreciate you, family. I appreciate you. I was saying JK through on Monday. And Monday we had TikTok too. So that was our first TikTok thing, which is crazy because TikTok only let me goddamn stream from my desktop. So I gotta be fully set all the way up to do something. Hey, hey, Liberty, you gonna have to tell your the guys that you suggest to join the group. Tell them stop being scared, man. They probably need a little motherly motivation. Cause you know, as a dude, I'm like, hey man, we got this group. You can join if you want. But you know what I mean? I ain't gonna be pressed. What you mean that masculine? Oh, yeah, no doubt. That's why I say I still need to get I still need to be able to do a guy's reading on a live. That shit's gonna be lit. I had one time, but he what do I say? Is my lights them but white? But no, they changing, so it is what it is. All right, people. Oh, I got Santa Claus. Okay. I'm looking like it was pot belly. I'm like, man, I'm losing weight. Hey, this is something to celebrate. Um, when my ex came here, I was working out. And when she got here, I stopped working out. And I gained 10 pounds. And I done lost 9 of them. So in a minute, I'm be like, I done lost all the weight of that past experience for sure. And I'm thankful for that. Because I did not like, you get a certain age, man. Carrying all that weight ain't cool. And, you know, I'm bigger than I look. So I'm down to 190. Yeah, 190. Which my goal was 185. But I think I'm going to try to go down to 180. Or, yeah, I'm going to get to 185 and just cut that up. Slice it and dice it. But yeah, I'm trying to be here for a minute. So it starts with some self-love, diet, physical, things like that. Somebody sent me a video on Instagram. And I ain't gonna say her name, but she might be watching. Celebrate what with a cake? Wait a minute. She sent me a video of someone who does dinners for people she love and all this stuff. But so I thought about it. I said I might do it for the tribe one day, since I always talk about cooking is love. You can put your love in cooking, which is one reason why I eat. And so I might do it for the healing tribe one day. So they gave me a suggestion. At least have cake. As you know, I can make a cake. I made that German chocolate cake. And I've been killing it. I ain't even finna lie to you. No, we ain't reading Back Time. We are reading Before I Let Go. And where are we at? All right. So we are on chapter 2. Yasmin, I think who we just learned about Josiah and their divorce lightly. And I was trying not to hate. Okay, I for some reason I felt like you would co-sign that idea. But I don't know. I have to do a select few. Couple more things I want to do to my space. So I gotta get that picture from Tuesday's show. I gotta get that and put that on the wall. And gotta work on my office a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure out how I want to do it, but I'm gonna feed the people. We might go live and have a Soul Swami dinner. Oh God, you know what? That might be something that we can do as a family. Get together and do the Soul Swami dinner. And that become an annual thing. And the thing is, I don't like cooking. I like eating. So your boy would not be doing all that cooking. Well, I'll do it. I'll put it on the I'm at that space where You ask for answers, you ask for directions, and I pay attention when the randomness of it comes. That was too random to be random. Between that dinner, and and the person that sent it to me, they know I can cook. So, but I don't even know why they sent it to me. You know what I mean? They just sent it to me for, I mean, no comment, no nothing, no context at all. And then, but between the dinner and that Tuesday show, or that random stranger came on there and told me I need to also write, because I hate to write. Jesus Christ. But I could, y'all like stuff like this. I could write an amazing book. My staff used to always tell me when I worked in the country and I used to tell them my stories. They used to be like, oh my God, you should write a book. But yeah, low key, yeah, I've had, what I say, I've been chased. None had when put guns on me. None have been stalked. I just well, not recently, last year. What happened? I got an ultimatum. Somebody was like, if I don't marry them, they're gonna quit their job. But I don't think that's how you get a husband. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna start setting my phone on do not disturb during this time. Yeah. So let's get cracking. We learned a little bit about the restaurant. We learned a little bit about the divorce. She still got anxiety. Her and her daughter got that teenage mother-daughter relationship. So yeah. Chapter 2, Yasmin. It's Soledad's birthday. Hendrix's mother mutters into her Moscow mule. You think she'd be eager for some grown girl time, and yet she's late. She's on her way. I reread the text Soledad sent. As of 20 minutes ago, she said Lupe's cheering practice went over, Inez is working on a science project, and Lottie had dance lessons. I study Hendrix over the rim of my drink. She has a face as bold as a name, punctuated by sloping cheekbones, and an audacious nose, nostrils flared to the scent of adventure and bullshit. Her dark arched eyebrows are quick to pull into a frown as the wide bow of her mouth is stretched into a smile. She gets shit done and is driven to help people as she is to succeed. Helping people is, at least in part, how she defines success. How are your housewives? I asked, sipping my French 75. The gin and the twang slough the. See, exactly why I gotta do it. Definitely gotta do not disturb. Um, the edge of my frayed nerves. Girl, a whole ass handful. The producer had the nerve to call me and ask me to keep my clients in check. Bitch, you check them. My job was to get them there. Your job is to make sure they don't kill each other before the season ends. Seems like more drama, the better the ratings. So what's her problem? Yeah, there's drama. And then there's, Hendrix lifts her brow meaningfully. Their shit. Fist fights, weaves yanked out, tire slash. Sounds like high school or daycare. And my degree in PR is in PR, not babysitting. Though for real, that feels like my job half the time. She aims a smile over her shoulder. Speaking of babies, here come mommy in chief now. I glance around and spot a Soledad climbing the stairs to Sky High's rooftop. She wears her usual slightly harried expression, but tonight is paired with butt-hugging red dress that screams, "Work it, girl, it's your birthday." Her dark eyes search the crowd until she finds us. A blinding smile lights up her pretty face. She's short and curvy, and springy sable curls bounce around her shoulders, reflecting the energy packed into her petite frame. She waves and crosses quickly to our table. Sorry I'm late. She collapses into the empty seats, snatches the drink from her hand, and takes a long sip. Urban Griot. Listen, I'm still. Okay, so pause. So I got a lot of tattoos. And I learned that with my dark complexion, because it don't always show with this light, but I'm extremely dark. Cursive words don't work so well, so I got this tattoo, Urban Griot, on my forearm. You can't even read it now. It just look like black spots. Exactly. So I would not get pretty writing on my skin again, but I got a bunch of that. Well, not a bunch. Um, Maybe 5 or 6. But when my summer skin kick in, it looks like I have none. Okay, hold on. Where we at? For your own birthday celebration, Hendrik Tiss. Just glad you made it at all. Did you have to tie Edward to the refrigerator for him to stay home with the girls? Soledad's husband is notoriously absent from pretty much everything lately. Pink filters into the golden brown of her cheeks. He had to work late unexpectedly, and so who's with the kids? I cut in. I called Miss Lattister's daughter. Soledad fixes her gaze on the menu, avoiding the exasperation I'm sure is apparent in Hendrik's eyes and mine. She's that ninth grader who lives around the corner. Lottie and Inez love her. Lupe's old enough to stay home and they'd be fine, but her cheering practice went late, so she shrugs philosophically. One night, Hendrik mutters. He couldn't give you one night. I shoot Hendrix a quailing glance, silently urging her to lay off, but she's more likely to bite your tongue than she is to bite hers. I know that's right. Be careful who you get advice from. Right. Yeah, yeah. The dog you feed is the dog that's gonna win, for sure. Guys, come on. Soledad drops the menu in all pretense that it actually interests her. Can't we just have a good time and not focus on Edward? He's in the middle of a huge project at the firm. It's a lot, and he's doing the best he can. I bet even she doesn't believe that, but I won't argue the point and spoil her birthday any more than her inconsiderate sperm donor already has. You're right. I slam my empty glass on the table and signal for the server. Let's get lit like we're not class mom in the morning. One of us isn't class mom. Angie reminds her, laugh throaty and grateful. And my apartment is literally around the corner. I'm walking, so I'll drink for all. Soledad and I are driving, albeit only around the corner, so we can't drink much, but getting lit sounds amazing. Our little trio is composed of disparate pieces that somehow, okay, work together. Hendrix, blissfully single and childlessness, is completely focused on her career and her ailing mother in Charlotte. Definitely be careful who you get advice from. Relationship advice. Splitting her time between the Queen City and Atlanta. Soledad, my bad. Soledad doesn't work outside, okay? Soledad doesn't work outside the home, but runs her household like a kingdom, leaving everyone awestruck by levels of organization and domesticity seemingly unachievable by mere mortals. She's a dash of Joanna Gaines and a sprinkle of Marie Kondo. and a big old scoop of Tabitha Brown, a dish served at a farm table on the finest china. And then there's me, wrapped in all the trappings of a suburban housewife, except I'm no longer anybody's wife. And I run a thriving business with a man I always assumed I'd love forever. How are your kids, Jasmine? Soledad asks, okay, I'm not going to talk this whole book. Soledad asks, sipping the Cosmopolitan the server sat down after taking our orders. Deja and Kasim are okay tonight. They're good, grabbing dinner at Grits. Josiah's taking them to the house for homework once they're done. You two manage your Soledad closes one eye and twists her lips, apparently searching for the right word. You're dynamic so well. Dynamic? Hendricks cast me a look I fondly dubbed sly slutty. Is that what you call it when your fine as hell ex-husband's there 24/7 for the screwing and you do nothing about it? There was a time when Hendricks' brashness would have left me sputtering and spewing my drink, but I'm used to her now. She spent all her shock value on me months ago. It's called co-parenting, I say, and running a business together. If we want to do both of those well, it's best to keep things simple and platonic. You don't even want to have the occasional dip in that yummy honey pot, Hendricks asked, and a knowing smile graced her full lips. Josiah is fine as hell. I smiled at the approaching server carrying our food. I'm aware I was married to him. I bet Josiah put it down, Hendricks said. You can look at him and tell he can fuck. What the hell? All right, enough. Like that, dang. Definitely be careful who you get advice from. I would never talk about my homeboy's wife or ex-wife like that, man. It's got to have some boundaries. And they ain't even lit yet. I try to play it off with a laugh, but all that talking about my former sex life is not what I want to do. Don't creep on my ex. You better watch him. I mean no harm. Hendricks lifts both hands. You better watch her. I come in peace and with the purest admiration for a man in his prime and a prime piece of man. You better watch her. I was just saying, it seems like you probably got some good dick out of that marriage. Am I right? I did. But that was the last thing on my mind at the end. Our animosity and grief doused the passions we'd taken for granted. Those last few months, we rarely even slept in the same room. My bed has been cold and empty for a very long time. I obviously don't know everything that went down with you two, Hendricks said, but that's the kind of man I'd miss. Like you said, I tell her, staring into my drink, you don't know everything that went down. They never knew Josiah and me set. What? They never knew Josiah and me as a set. As a couple, everyone envied. When I was going through my dark season, I lost touch with most of my friends I was closer to. Not their fault. I shut many of them out. I met Hendricks and Soledad through a yoga class my therapist recommended to help reduce anxiety and improve my mood at my lowest point. Soledad lives a couple of streets over, so I knew of her, but it wasn't until yoga that we really connected. The three of us hid on the back row watching everyone do their dog, cat, and cobra poses while we struggled to contort our out-of-shape bodies in the most basic positions. Maybe because I was so in need of reconciliation, and they seemed to be too, we grew close quickly. They don't look at me with that careful sympathy I see in the eyes of everyone who knew me before. I know you guys went through a lot all at once, Soledad says. Yeah, it was a lot. I take a fortifying gulp of my drink. You know, Josiah's Aunt Bird passed away soon after we opened Skyland. Pushing down the emotion that tries to break through to the surface, I force myself to continue. Business tank. In that state, we couldn't hold up. our own in Skyland, not with the quality of restaurants around here. Maybe we would have fared better if we would have stayed where we were, stayed who we were. But Josiah had always seen us turning the restaurant to an upscale destination spot, and it would have gone off without a hitch had life not hitched every which way but loose. You saying something? Oh, I ain't see what you say. Oh, shoot. You got to say that to your neurotic coworker. Right here. You don't talk much about it. The divorce, I mean. So that said, did you guys try therapy? Josiah's allergic. I say rarely. He doesn't do therapy. I wanted to, but at church where I grew up, Hendrix says, they always said, you ain't got a problem God can't fix. What can a therapist do that God can't? That mindset kept a lot of us from getting help. Josiah's reasons had nothing to do with faith. I say with a twist of my lip, he just thinks it's a load of bullshit. Deja and Kasim talked to some grief counselor at school, but aside from a rough patch or two, they bounced back okay. They have not bounced back okay. She's tried to not notice how they struggling with that. Couples therapy, Josiah didn't think it could help, and by the end, neither did I. Things had gotten so bad, I felt like I was suffocating in the house, in that marriage, and I had to get out. I felt the whole world was resting on my chest every morning, and it was all I can do to get out of bed, and everything hurt. That's the part of depression people don't consider, that at times it physically hurts. My therapist helped me understand that the back pain and the headaches I developed were most likely related to stress, and stress hormones like cortisol and noradrenaline contributed to my apathy and exhaustion, which exacerbated my depression. It was an inescapable cycle that left me looking up at my life from the bottom of a well, the wall slippery, and seeing no way out. And it all hurt, including being with a man I loved more than everything. After how we loved each other, the way we hurt each other was destroying us. I made a little bubble for my friends and me, one that protected my fragile joy and wards off the hurt of the past. I know I have to tell Hendrix and Soledad everything soon. If therapy has taught me anything, it's that you don't run from your past in a circle. You end up exhausted. A lot of people do that. Run from their past in a circle. I'm basically repeating it. Do, do, do. I have to stop running. Have to share with them all the ways life popped the seams on a world perfectly sewn together. For now, I share a little at a time, and for tonight, I've shared enough. I clear my throat and push out a laugh. Is this a celebration? Thank you, because I was beginning to wonder too. Or what? Let's eat before soul ages another year. The night turns out to be just what I needed, and I hope what Soledad deserves. She's the hardest working woman I know, and she sees her life mission as raising three beautiful humans to be confident women who make the world a better place. Some might judge that, say a woman as smart as Soledad could do so much more. I see the power in choosing your own more. Yeah, so that's why you be careful on who you get advice from. That woman has a very different mindset than the other two. Very different. And she just pointed out how clearly different her mindset is. So we doing this or not? Hendrix asked, hopefully once we've settled the bill. I got a roll of ones burning a hole in my Louis. Strip club? The answer is written in Soledad's eyes, sketched in the rueful tug of her lips. Rain check. I actually am class mom in the morning, and I need to get home and check in his science project. I bet I have to help him because Edward, Edward is about as likely to help with that science project as Garth Brooks is to perform at the Apollo. Well, Edward had a long day. Soledad finishes with a smile as natural as my lashes and may have overlooked a few things. Hendrick grunts. She really should patent that. It's the most accomplished monosyllable I've ever met. Well, I have the care and feeding of my housewife tomorrow, Hendrick says and sighs. The producers want me on set to ensure no butt implants are harmed in the making of the next episode. We share a cackle, and I relish in the simple ease of authentic friendship where I didn't expect it, and the evening breeze on my face. Georgia clings to summer as long as possible. August bright green leaves still trim the trees lining skyline streets, but soon they'll be varicolored, the wind propelling them from the branches like a confetti cannon. In just a few weeks, they'll blanket the cobblestones under our feet. I fish the keys from my purse, click the remote to unlock my car as we walk to the parking lot. Happy birthday, sweetheart, I say, reaching for Soledad. Hendrick's arms enclose us both, and our little triumvirate huddles together, our perfumes and spirits mingling under the warm glow of the town's gas lamp streetlights. I love you guys, Soledad whispers, eyes bright. There's nowhere I would have rather been than with you two on my birthday. Thank you for making it special. I love you crazy broads too, Hendrick joked, giving us an extra squeeze before releasing us. Next year, we're hitting up the strip club. This is Atlanta. How are you gonna not go to a strip club? I'm open, I grin. Yes. Hendrix high fives me. Maybe next year, so that mouth says, while the wide-eyed look she sends says never. I climb into my car, chuckling as I picture stage Soledad and an up for anything Hendrix in Magic City, tossing ones. I'd be in the middle enjoying the show on stage and off. Y'all still coming to the food truck Friday tomorrow? I asked in my my rolled down window. For sure, Hendrix says. I'll be wrapped on set by then. Can't wait. Soledad opens her door and climbs up into the Suburban. She looks so small behind the wheel of that mammoth machine, but with three girls and their gaggle of friends, she can never have enough passenger space. See you then. The drive home is short, barely enough time to reflect on the day's events. A year ago, I could not have envisioned feeling this way, feeling this good. A night out with new friends who feel like sisters of my heart. Our business, not long ago, on before the brink of failure, restored, thriving, booming. And then there's Josiah. A shiver skims my spine. The memory of his fingers whispering across my bare skin when he zipped me up, coaxing the life parts of me, long dormant and neglected. I'll probably always be attracted to him. Like I told Hendrix, he's fine as hell, but I can't let my body's natural response to a beautiful man with whom I've had a complicated past and offspring fool me into thinking things should have turned out differently. We were good together, very good. In fact, then shit happened. So much life altering, earth shattering shit. And not only were we not good together, but I couldn't imagine things ever being good again. It's time for us both to move on. When Josiah and I dreamed of our restaurant over cartoons of cheap Chinese, excuse me, mhm. Late at night while he was finishing his MBA, we didn't talk about living in an affluent neighborhood like Skyland. But as I drive past all the custom built houses and the three-car garages, I realize we got it. The garage door to the house we renovated together lifts. In the last gasping breath of our marriage, it became unbearable to be in this house with him. How many nights did our arguments echo through the halls? But after the divorce, I couldn't bear to be here without him. It felt wrong and empty. To be fair, at that point, no place felt right, not even in my own skin. I rid the house of all of our wedding pictures, but Josiah is indubitably stamped on every square inch, from the freestanding tub in our bathroom to the large open kitchen and the high ceiling family room. Every light fixture, paint color, down to the smallest detail, we carefully chose together. The only thing we never anticipated was losing each other in the process of gaining everything. We executed every phase of our dream right on schedule. Graduation check, marriage check, business check, baby one check, baby two check, baby three. I shake off the thoughts like shackles and pull into the garage. I made the right decision for us all when I asked for the divorce. See, that's why. She made the right decision for everybody. That's her, the husband, and the kids. But I'm not really hearing what she considered their opinion. You get the love you choose. You get the love you choose. Woo. And I have to believe that anything is better than a volatile pressure cooker our lives have become at the end. Laughter reaches my ears when I walk into the kitchen and close the door behind me. I knew he wouldn't let them stay up late. I easily picked out the kids' giggles mixed in with the low timbre of Josiah's chuckle. But I can't quite place the other melodic laugh. When I entered the family room, I realized why. I've never heard Sheedy laugh like this before. It lights up her face, an inner glow that spills into her eyes over her cheeks. She wears a lovely dress the color of buttercups that discreetly outlines her slim, feminine shape. Her hand rests on Josiah's knee casually, at ease, like she's touched him that way 100 times. Oh my God, she probably has. They've probably shared the simple, intimate touches many times in secret, or at least without me knowing. I may not want Josiah for myself anymore, but I'm not blind enough to miss when someone else does. And the simmering affection shining from Vashti's eyes tells me she wants my husband, ex-husband. Plates litter the floor along with cans of Diet Coke and LaCroix. A Monopoly board displayed across the large glass table Josiah and I purchased from a furniture outlet in North Carolina. That somehow offends me most deeply. On our table, child. It feels like I interrupted them in a passionate embrace, twined together across the thick plain glasses in a pornographic pretzel instead of playing a board game with the kids. Mom, Kasim says, drawing everyone's attention to me standing in the doorway. You're home. I managed to nod, unsure of my lines in this farce. Vashti lost everything in Monopoly. Kasim's point to the pretty young chef. He's oblivious to how all this looks and feels to me, but maybe Vashti isn't. She stands quickly and starts collecting dishes. I'm sorry about the mess, she says a little breathlessly. I don't think we spilled any of the sauce from the ribs on anything. If I could squeeze the voice through my constricted vocal cords, I still wouldn't trust it. Her words fall into an awkward silence I'm not sure how to break or why it's there for that matter. We got their food to go. Josiah picks up where she left off. Vashti and I have been working all day and we both were ready to call it a night, so we just brought it home. Once I finally find my voice, it's not to respond to him or Vashti, but to ignore them. Kids, is way past your bedtime, I say, my tone bright and hopefully normal. You have school in the morning. Did you get your homework done? Yeah, it only took like 20 minutes, Kasim offers his way to the to the scare on his way to the staircase. Kasim, I address his retreating back. Are you going to leave your trash here in the middle of the floor? You know that's unacceptable. FYI, Vashti, Deja speaks for the first time. Just about everything is unacceptable in this house according to Mom. Told you, somebody's not adjusting well at all. I'm surprised by the sting of hurt. I know better than to let my daughter get to me. Getting to me is her new favorite pastime. But for her to strike in front of Vashti, who may be something I didn't realize she was to Josiah, hits in a different way, deeper. Fix that attitude, Day. Josiah responds to her before I have to, his voice somehow gentle and stern. Your mom's right. You guys need to pick up after yourselves. She's not your maid, and I better not hear you're treating her like one. Yes, sir, Deja replies demurely, gathering the dishes and heading toward the kitchen with Kasim. Thanks, I mutter, now feeling patriarchal. No, excuse me, now feeling particularly grateful. It's good seeing you again so soon, Vashti. I'm trying to relocate the home training I lost when I found this woman in my house, laughing with my kids, her hand all over my husband's knee. Ex-husband. You have a beautiful home, Vashti flashes a smile at Josiah, and I love hanging out with the kids. They just love hanging out with you, too. Josiah grabs his jacket from the back of the couch and slips it on. But we should get going. He proffers his car keys to Vashti. Could you give us a second, Vash? Wait in the car for just a minute. I'll be right out. Surprise, and what may be concern scared across her expression, a quick slide that she checks before it fully forms. Discipline, this one. A great match for him in that, at least. Of course, she takes the keys, and I don't miss the small squeeze he gives her fingers. Night, Yasmin. See you tomorrow, I say, reining in my irritation, which is probably completely out of proportion to the situation, but still real. Once she leaves the living room, walks to the foyer, and closes the front door behind her, Josiah looks at me, his expression guarded. I remember how this striking face looks happy, open. I haven't really seen him in that way in a long time. But I do remember. Something you'd like to tell me? I asked, perching on the arms of the couch, trying my damnedest to look harmless. Vasi and I. What the hell is she doing in my house? Okay, that came out wrong. Or maybe it came out exactly how I felt it. But I wouldn't have said it if my emotions weren't in free fall. He quirks a dark brow at me, his mouth tightening in the corners. Sorry. I clear my throat and smooth my dress. You were saying you have no reason to be upset. Nothing makes a woman more upset than her husband telling her she has nothing to be upset about. Ex-husband, he corrects softly. Right. A stiff smile takes hold of my face. Ex-husband, a man telling a woman she should stay calm. That's her fault she's triggered. Is not is how we know shit's happening when we should be upset about. Nothing's happening that shouldn't be. He gives me a look from under the dark lash that hides nothing and is unashamed. Two consenting adults. That phrase usually precedes fucking. And what if it does? The release of his words is swift and sharp, a knife unsheathed, like he was waiting for me to piss him off. I'm single, she's single. You're acting like we corrupted the kids in some way. You're acting jealous. He doesn't finish it. He doesn't have to. I'm not jealous. I'm just, hell, thrown. I thought we'd agreed we'd discuss anyone we started dating being around the kids. I hesitate. I mean, is that what this is? You and Vashti? What, dating? He huffs an exasperated breath. I appreciate you, Ivy. He husks an exasperated breath like I'm bothering him with these basic questions and have no right to. Do I have a right to know? I've been Josiah's friend, lover, business partner, the mother of his children, his wife. For the first time, I'm not sure where I stand with him, what I am to him. He's told you his ex-wife. It's really new, he finally says. We just clicked, working so closely, and started spending time together. It's not like the kids aren't already around all the time, so I didn't feel the need to introduce her to them. They may have guessed, but I haven't told them for sure. But you will. Why am I holding my breath? Probably. We've hung out a few times. He puts up his hands and shoots me a warning look. And before you call me out on that, we said we'd give a heads up for the sake of the kids, not each other. I don't have to tell you when I start dating someone, and I don't want to know when. He does look away then, drop his gaze to his expensive shoes. We've been divorced almost 2 years, Yaz. We know we'd move on. I honestly didn't think it would be a big deal. Move on. I just told myself it was good that we were moving on. And it is. But seeing him moving on in the house that we built together, in the residue of life that we shared, I didn't know it would affect me this way. It's not a big deal. I stand to fluff the cushion of Vashti's pert little ass was just seated on. I guess I was caught off guard. Like I said, I haven't told the kids anything. Vashti's around at work a lot. It was casual. She was finishing up as we were leaving, and I invited her along. I didn't make a big deal of it, but I want to be honest with them. He bites his bottom lip, and a sudden, ill-timed memory of those perfect full lips on me assaults my senses, kissing the curve of my neck, sucking my breast, sliding over my stomach, and down, down, down. Crap, crap, crap. I want to be honest with you, he continues, completely oblivious to how my mind is flash fucking him. Fosh is great, and though it may ultimately go nowhere, we want to see where this leads. What if it goes left? We could be out of a chef. It took a long time to find her. Like, I need you reminding me how long it took to find a good chef. Funny how the words he doesn't say can sting more than the ones he does. He doesn't have to say that when Bird died, I was in no shape to help. That he was the one at grits from open to close. He wore all the hats, owner, manager, you name it. When I could barely hold up my head at all, even now his eyes hold no accusation, only memories that if we voice could shatter the tenuous peace we've managed to negotiate. Vasi and I did have that conversation, he said. We agreed to keep work separate as much as we can. She loves her job and she's essential at grits. I appreciate you. Her cooking dug us out the hole when Bird passed. Just be careful, Si. And not only because of work, I gulped down hot emotion and forced myself to keep speaking. I don't want to see you get hurt. His laugh, like so many things tonight, takes me by surprise. The sonic boom of it startles me, bounces off the walls, and floods the room. What's so funny? I venture out after a few seconds of him laughing and shaking his head in seemingly disbelief. The humor in his eyes, if it was ever genuine, dissipates, leaving his gaze cool and flat. The irony of you saying you don't want to see me hurt. I knew that's what he was laughing at. The irony. The last person. I don't. No one in my old life has ever hurt me like you did. Shock shuts me up. I'm struck dumb. But the accusations He doesn't bother voices the grievances I didn't realize were so held deeply, screeching silence. What you she don't know what she thought that would do to him. They blared she was moving very differently. They blared from his eyes fixed on me, not even blinking, interrupting the unrelenting intensity of his stare. I'm the one who asked for the divorce, yeah, I say, suddenly unsure of something I should be certain of. But we agreed, child. Is that how you remember it? Because I remember the worst possible thing happening to us both, this whole family, and you shutting me out. I remember us losing, don't say it, don't you say his name. I can hear his name right now, not tonight. Never mind. He sighs, and it's my reprieve. He grips the back of his neck. This shit is ancient history. I'm too tired for it. I should press. The man that he finished the thought, but it, like so many other things, we stopped saying when things got hard, remains buried under the rubble of our silence. I'm gonna go, he says and heads to the front door. Early start tomorrow. Sure, okay. I trail him in the foyer. When he pulls open one of the wide French doors in silver, in the sliver of space, in the breath of a moment, I see his rover idling in the driveway. The interior light is on, Vashti's face clearly visible, her eyes alert and trained on my front porch, on Josiah, her expression brightness with a smile, even as her glance drift over her shoulder and briefly meets mine. In that tiny space, an understanding forms between us, and I know why we never clicked. She's not sure about me, about Josiah and me. It makes sense. Our lives tangle, vines, vines running through our kids and our business. We have history, a long, turbulent one. And even though we're no longer married, it's obvious we're still connected in so many ways. I can't blame her. I'd wonder too. I could tell her she has nothing to worry about. The passion, the love, the fierce devotion that once existed between Josiah and me, I burnt that to the ground long ago. Whatever remains is cold and stiff as the look he slants over his shoulder at me before the door closes behind him. Um, we'll start a little bit of chapter 3 since we got a little bit of time. So what my other watch. Chapter 3, Yasmin. Everything looks great, Yas, Hendricks says, surveying the sky square. Food trucks boasting restaurant logos and menus ring the area. Main Street has been blocked off and cafe tables and chairs dot the cobblestone road. Fairy lights wind through the trees, twinkling even though the sun hasn't set and there's still daylight. Vendors scurry, making last-minute preparations before great citizens of Scotland descend in the next hour, seeking good food and a good time. Thank you, I say, scanning the scene one last time. I'm glad we got out here early to make sure everything's ready to go. Between tostadas, Soledad said, licking the sauce from the corner of her mouth, the hot dogs and the pulled pork, I think I've had a little of everything, and Food Truck Friday hasn't even officially started. I know these businesses appreciate all the revenue and all the traffic tonight will generate. Hendricks says, tossing what's left of a taco into a nearby trash can. How's it feel to be head boss babe again, running things? I laugh and wave off a question, though I must admit that after barely leaving the house, being barely able to function for so long, it feels good doing something that benefits our community. When we first transitioned, grits from mom and pop to Southside to our current location in the heart of Scotland, Josiah and I decided to get in good with the locals and endear ourselves to other businesses owners. I strategically assumed an active role with Scotland Association, an organization designed to increase community engagement, foster economic development, and strengthen ties between the private and public sectors. I went from being the chairwoman, spearheading community activities on the regular, to being, well, not very involved at all. But Food Truck Friday signals to the board that I'm back and ready to go. I think we've checked all the vendors except Grits. I say nodding toward a truck branded with Grits logo. A few employees work the truck counter, attired in t-shirts and close-fitting caps, hair carefully hidden. There's no scrambling, no last-minute scurrying. Vashti has achieved the same order and calm for tonight's event that she elicits in the restaurant. I choose to be grateful. Her involvement means I'm more freed up to invest much needed quality time with my kids without worrying Josiah has to handle everything and work on his own. He has Vashti now. My people, I say, dividing a greeting smile between the two employees behind the food truck counter. How how goes it? It's all good, Cassie. Vashti Susef answers, but continues checking supplies. We're ready for the stampede. A gray whiskered man emerges from behind the truck, wiping his hands on a salt-stained apron. Now I know you better come get this hug, Yasmin. I chuckle and step into Milwaukee Johnson's long arms. My dad died long ago, and this cooked bird hide has probably become the closest thing I've had to a father since. He smells like a dozen home-cooked meals. Like all my comfort foods have been sewn into the lining of his clothes. My breath whooshes, then releases into this shoulder, and I tuck my head under his chin, sinking my arms around his waist. He feels frailer, smaller than when we last hugged, like time is stealing not only years, but inches and pounds from his imposing frame. I pull back to peer up into his sharp features, leathered by time, but somehow still younger than his years. How you been, Milky? His broad, bony shoulders lift and drop carelessly, but his eyes filled with sadness. I still miss Bird. They lie when they say it gets better. I think maybe I'm just getting stronger, so I feel it a little bit less. It don't get better. You just get used to it. By the time Bird met Milky, she divorced 3 husbands, and they had just buried the 4th. She swore she'd never walk down the aisle again, but Milky loved Bird, and with what she had left, she loved him back. The food wasn't the only thing hot in that kitchen. They flirted and fondled, chased and caught each other, not even trying to hide that they'd found something special in their twilight years. Josiah and I used to laugh and say we hoped that we had as much fire when we got to be their age. I know, Milky. I whispered, squeezing him a little tighter. I miss her too. He nods and pats my back before stepping away. That Vashti's is a godsend, though. She got that kitchen humming. Bird would have loved her food. Yup. My smile dries on my face like plaster. She's great. Wise, roomy eyes, studied me, and gold teeth gleams at the corner bend of his smile. I forced myself to hold his omniscient stare and resist the urge to squirm. How you really doing? He asked, gentling some of the usual gruffness in his scratchy voice. I'm getting there. I squeeze his hands, knuckles oversized from years of cracking them, smattered with fading grease burns. Promise? Things won't be the same without you. Glad you're back where you're supposed to be. Milky grins and straightens his cap. This event is something else. All the restaurants will be empty tonight because the street's gonna be full. You did the damn thing, Yaz. Thanks, Milk. I tapped the aluminum counter jutting out from the truck. You guys got it looking good over here too. Thanks for representing. You know if Vashti's running the ship, Cassie says from behind the counter, it'll be tight. I'll choose to take that as a compliment. A low melodic voice draws from behind us. I turn to find Vashti standing there with a pair of silver tongs and a bottle of hot sauce. Oh, hot sauce. Hendrix licks her lips. If your fried chicken is as good as I can remember, you can run an IV from that bottle right here. She slaps the forearm and we all laugh. I smile in all the right places, but there's a definite tension between Vashti and me. Given the surreptitious glance she keeps sending my way, I suspect she feels it too. We do have a limited menu, Vashti said, entering the truck and disappearing beneath the counter. A second later, she pops back up with the red and white checkered food boat holding crispy golden fried chicken breast. But we got chicken. Oh yes, Hunty. Let me see. Yeah. Finish this page. Oh yes, Hunty. Hendrix crows, reaching for the chicken with one hand and the hot sauce with the other. I'm just gonna taste this right quick for you and make sure it's okay before the general public gets to it. Generous of you, Vashti laughs. Here comes the boss, Cassie said, shooting a great quick glance at both Vashti and me. I mean, the other boss. Josiah approaches with long, confident strides, proud set to his head, shoulders wide, body fluent, with just a touch of swagger in his gait. He is flanked by Deja and Kasim and trailed by one of the biggest dogs I've ever seen in my life, Otis Redding. I'll never forget Aunt Bird bringing this beautiful Great Dane with his shiny coat, unrelieved black, and a shiny coat of unrelieved black to our house. A gift from her last husband, Herbert, a legendary R&B singer. K9 namesake was just a pup when we first met. Herbert would give me the dog with the shortest lifespan. Bird had half joked, since all he ever brought me was grief, a wicked light in her dark eyes. She had added an aside and sex. Whoo child, that man could lay some pipe. My lips twitch as my heart pinches. You had to smile when Bird was around. Mom, Kasim rushes ahead of Josiah and Deja and gives me a tight hug. I thought that by 10, he would have grown beyond this unabashed love for his mama. Boys usually do around now, but his affection for me is still open and uninhibited, even in front of his friends. Maybe he saw me sad for so long he's afraid to withhold it from me. How was school? I asked. Good, Kasim squints up at the Grits food truck menu. Can I have ribs? Oh my God, with the ribs, Deja said, but smiles at her brother. The smile dims when she meets my eyes. Hey, Mom. Deja, hey, I hate the tension with her, but I can't seem to fix it. How was school? Fine, she shrugs. That's the usual waste of time, I guess. I bite I bite back the response that automatically arises to my lips. Good. I say, not wanting to ruin the night before it starts. And we'll start there. So I appreciate y'all. I had fun this week. This book is gonna be a little interesting. I gotta make sure if I done, I gotta pay it up. I'm your daddy shorts on, and I don't have no OF. So, and I ain't gonna have one. So we not gonna have one tonight. But I appreciate y'all joining me. I don't know. I might. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it next week, but we might do something mobile. We'll see. I'll make a post on Facebook. I need to make it everywhere. So I'll make a post on Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube to let you know how next week is, what we're gonna do. So I'll be in Atlanta. So I will have some. I'll get a little content or something so we can laugh about Atlanta. But I need some more stuff on my page anyway. But I thank you. We'll talk about the book a little bit next week. I don't even know what I want to ask y'all, so I'll ask your opinion next week. We'll start off. I want to know. Yeah, I think we still need a little bit more before we get into some deep conversations about it. But so far, so good. All right. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your evening. And see you next week or the week after or something. But we'll be back in here soon. Peace. Peace.